three of you are starting to unload the crates from the cart, all these bags and all kinds of stuff. You saw Winkara Wickloop, the gnome boxer that kind of gave you guys a thumbs up, jumps off the cart, heads over in the direction of the Patient Fae, which is more to the the west of the village. You do see Ieri, the baker, the half-orc, half-drow baker, who had given you some pastries, hops off as well, and then starts heading over to one of the many pop-up tents that are set up in. So this map that you can see that's what it looks like when no one's there. It is full right now. There are people everywhere.
Can this half-orc be in canon distant descendant of the character who gave us pastries in past game that we were used to throw ahead of us? It's like I have an ancestor 1,000 years ago. That's where the family trait came from.
I'm pretty sure that was a human.
I'm pretty sure it was a human.
Yeah, that was a human.
Yeah, but you said it's half orc.
Drow, half orc.
Yeah, they
half
could be
orc, half drow.
other halves in there. Long. Yeah.
No, it's orc, drow.
Fine.
Together.
More halves.
More halves. Those halves have halves.
I can't remember if we were told. Did we have lodging already?
You
was
did.
Set aside for us?
Yeah,
because we're
not
employees?
in the village.
But because we're employees,
yeah,
basically.
Yeah, you have space.
Weren't they just upgraded by the Dragonborn ambassador lady?
No, she gave money.
Okay, I thought she gave them better rooms.
No, I asked about it though. So but then you said that we had rooms already.
Yeah,
I didn't know that we already had one.
You have. I wouldn't call them
or
rooms.
A tent. Sorry.
You have a place to sleep.
Something with a covering.
Yes, and a bed-ish, a cot. So yeah, you, Raylan, the dwarf that was the coach of the crate holding cart, jumps down and had kind of shown you where the crates were, and as he's standing there, you see him go hold on one second. He heads over to the cart that was transporting all of you. I was going to say humans, but you're not all humans. All of you people. And he helps the coachman of that cart. You see this young-looking guy. He's got shaggy brown hair, but his skin is very pale. He looks a little bit sickly, and he's having trouble getting off of the cart. Very, very thin, just kind of regular clothing, nothing special. You hadn't really paid all that much attention to him because he was just very, very quiet. And in the beginning of your travels, he had seemed a lot more lively. But as the days went on, even as that whole incident happened with Cass and everything, he was just kind of sitting, almost looking like he was just ready to be done with this. And the fact that a kid had run off was oh my God, this is going to make this even longer. But you see Raylan head over and reach up and take his arm and help him down off of the cart. And you see him just say I'll see you when it's done. And you see the other coach guy just kind of slaps him on the top of the shoulder and then starts shuffling off into the more residential area of the village. And then Raylan comes on back over. He's thanks. Yeah, Cam always gets this way on the longer trips. I live in Mosswick, he lives here. We, stay together when we do the trips back. And anyway. All right, well, so you just start loading these things down from the cart. We'll wait for somebody to come tell us what to do with them.
Eldon will hop up into the cart, start handing things down to whoever.
Kai starts unloading.
All right.
I got nothing cute quip to add, sorry.
No. So yeah, you're kind of unloading all of the stuff, looking around. You see there's a variety of people here, it's kind of like the folks that arrive at a festival as things are getting set up, and they can do some shopping, but like the deals haven't started yet. You can see all of the village inhabitants are still decorating. Like there's 2 days. Tomorrow is the last day, and the festival begins proper. So there's flowers everywhere. This is a lot different. This whole island has been a lot different than anything that you've experienced. It's very bright. Lots of colors, bright colors, oranges, reds, blues, greens, yellows. Like, the houses are painted those colors. But then also there's an element of, like, the old, like, the peaked roofs and stuff, even though that's not really necessary because it doesn't snow. So lots of different things going on, lots of different people. You see a fair amount of humans and dwarves and halflings, lots of half-elves, and then a very decent variety, again, not something that you would be necessarily familiar with, of like half-orc, half-elves, half-goblin, halflings. It's just not something that you're used to seeing. Just people, kind of all variety of folks.
Are there reptilian species or are the ambassador and family the only ones that we've seen?
There are fewer of them, but there are a couple of others.
Okay.
They don't seem, the ones that you see, maybe a small handful of them are wearing clothing that you would recognize as being from the like more upper class Emporian. But then others are not dressed that way, so likely coming from more northern areas in Tania, which you haven't traveled that far. But looking in the center of the village, you can see the large statue of the goddess of Yamari, who's like spread out and laughing towards the sky. Stone and glass that's kind of been formed into this very island body, wearing just kind of like flowery bodice type thing, and big flowery headdress. And then, as mentioned, there's a big stone slab that seems to be used as like a stage. That's kind of it's unclear if it was put there on purpose or if maybe the statue came after. And maybe they smoothed it out over time, but there are flowers all decorating it. This is clearly where all of the events are going to happen. But yeah, you just kind of see folks walking around as you are pulling things down. For you two, we'll pivot. So for you two, Ayla, you are much more familiar with this area, so you know exactly where to go. The Smiling Eyes Free House is on your map there. It's the big building towards the east, with the sloped tent that
Green top?
right there. Yep.
Oh, yeah.
The large building.
Apparently I don't know east from west.
So you head straight over there, kind of nodding at people as you go. There's a little bit of like, folks recognize you, but also you look like shit right now. So it's not really the look you want people. Remember, you do see some people like, hey,
there.
and you just keep going by. It is the new year, so all of you would hear people saying Happy New Year to each other as they greet each other and whatnot. But it is the year 1419. You've made it. So you head
so close to Columbus.
So you head straight to the Smiling Eyes Free House. Sorry. So as you step in, very much a place that you're familiar with. You likely stay here every year.
It's my favorite.
It's your favorite. It's a pretty huge tavern, especially for a village this size. It's got this thatched roof, and folks know it really for its ale and mead selection. It has the benefit of being the place everybody goes, and there's a variety of stuff from all of the different regions in the Modras and Tania continents. So even though there might be some political headbutting, the proprietor here, Kethra, she is able to get good drinks. And the menu's not too bad either for meals. So you head on in. It's pretty big. It might have been like a town hall before the new town hall was established at the town hall in command, which is at the very far end, diagonal west of the slab. You can see there's this massive pub, rows of tables. The walls are covered in paintings of Mount Yamari, the Yamari hot springs, and like just a variety of like beautiful frames with flowers. Like they really lean into the touristy aspect of this. And behind the counter, you recognize immediately this obese dwarf, Kethra. She is kind of like leaning
To put
up.
obese in front of a dwarf that are already
She
kind of short and
is-
stout, like I'm just picturing like the picture of Bender that I sent you yesterday.
Yeah, she is like a middle-aged. She's pretty small, and she is round. She's got these like bright blue eyes, light skin. She has like very interesting, these almost like crescent moon-shaped eyes. When you look at them, it's not like normal irises. It's just something that she has. She is leaning up against the
What was her name?
Kethra. Kethra Brawn Anvil.
Hey, that's a familiar name.
I'm just picturing Violet from Willy Wonka.
Yeah. Yeah, she's
She's like, it's like just hands and like a round body.
and yeah, it's pretty it's fairly busy in the tavern as you enter. Got all my sounds. So
I just want to see your playlist.
lots of
Like
folks.
1,000 different variations of like crowd noise 1, crowd noise 2, crowd noise 99.
There is music playing already. She's gotten things ready. She and her husband. But she's not really paying attention as you walk in. Kethra has a habit of she's just staring at the newest barmaid that they have in the tavern. She's just kind of watching her do her thing. So, but you are familiar with
In a
the tavern.
boss way or in a
You don't know.
loving way?
A little bit of both.
That's a good hire right there.
Right. So you head in, and as you are heading towards there's actually 3 floors to this tavern. The first floor is the tavern, the pub, the public house. The second floor is where kind of like the average folks, but people who have money for an event like this. It's like fairly expensive. It's 5 silver a night to stay here, so about $50 a night for this type of establishment. And then on the next floor is where someone like there's 5 rooms, and those are reserved for someone like the ambassador coming from Emporia. So you would be on the second floor. But you come on in and look around. Lots of folks. There's some people that look, and you see some people whispering as you walk by. You hear someone go like, "Ayla, Ayla, Ayla, Ayla," and you just keep going.
Yeah, I'm just like.
And as you do, you hear the like voice of Kilvar, who's actually Kethra's husband, who you hear him yell out, "Kethra! Ayla!" And Kethra's like, "Whoop." And she looks over and she's like, "Oh, Ayla!
I don't know why I was expecting a Fat Albert voice. For this. Hey, hey, hey!
Ayla! You look,
I know I have looked better, yes.
Yeah, you have.
Yeah, it was
The last time I saw you, you looked much better.
unpleasant journey.
Really? From Mosswick?
Yes, a child went into the woods
Oh,
and
children.
we volunteered. And then, I don't know why I'm looking at you. You're not even here. Yeah, it was the child of an ambassador from,
Oh.
I forget which country.
The Euthris. From Euphoria.
Yes, that's the one.
Wow.
They're fine now.
You went out into the Sleeping Wilds.
No,
By yourselves? Just the two of you?
no, there was others on the cart that
And
went
who's
out.
it? I'm Kethra. She reaches out and like big meaty hand. Like her arm is so big. It's just like
Sweaty. Just
and she's
sweaty.
looking up at you. Like she's not a big tall lady.
This is Iolite. She works at the theater. She is with me on this trip.
Oh.
I usually look better.
Well, I didn't want to say anything. I didn't have a frame of reference, so you look better than she looks better than you do.
Yes.
Yeah. It must have been rough out there. What'd you run into?
Unpleasant plants.
Yep, that sounds about right. In the Sleeping Wilds, yeah.
You aware of any forgotten temples out there?
I mean, I'm not aware of any in particular, but I mean, we're not the first to. You know, there's like a. When the elves came, I heard they showed up, and I know there's a portal to the Feywild on the island, so they established some stuff and probably built some ruins about, what 1,400 years ago.
I suspected as much.
Yeah, you gotta be careful out there. Who else was with you?
Oh, some human workers.
Oh, all right. Well, that's a pretty good thing to do for an ambassador. She'll definitely remember your name.
Oh, she is already aware of me, but yes.
Of course, she would be. Of course. Oh, well, good for you. Good
Yeah.
for you.
Yes.
I mean, I don't want to keep you from a bath.
That is exactly what I'm going.
Yeah. Muriel! And you see the human barmaid, one of them, there are several that are around, just turns, young and like sweet smile, just turns and looks, she's like, get the bath ready on the second floor. We've got Ayla Maria.
Myrea.
What?
Myrea.
Myrea from
Gotta roll those off.
Mosswick. And she needs a bath. And there's a couple of people, she's very loud, so several people just kind of like look over and they hear the name and then they're looking and they're like, oh shit. Like,
It's gonna end up on the front page of TMZ.
and Muriel,
She's really let herself go.
what happened to Ayla?
Brittany shaved her head.
Should have been a Hero Forged version of her just all beat up.
Were they meeting us here or somewhere else later on? I forgot where we said we were
believe you
gonna
agreed
meet.
to meet here at the Smiling Ice.
Okay.
Yeah, later.
Yeah, like after we got situated, I think, right?
Yeah.
I think we agreed for dinner. So.
Yep.
Okay.
So Muriel heads up the stairs. There's a communal bath, obviously. Not every room has their own bath on the second floor. So she heads up the stairs, start getting the hot water ready. So Kilvar comes over, Kethra's husband, and hold on, let me put my link here so that I can tell you what he looks like.
Please say he's abnormally thin for a dwarf.
No, so she calls him over, and Kilvar heads over to you. He's got like a key in his hand. He's about the same age as Kethra. He's pretty squat, but he's like built like a wrestler. Like he's got like the big.
Like an 80s wrestler.
Yeah. He's got these like.
Goes right from his ears
Yeah.
right to his shoulders.
He comes over.
Fucking built like a Ninja Turtle.
Like a Ninja Turtle.
That's what I'm trying to do, man. That's what I want.
He's got a beautiful beard that is clearly well loved. Like it's shiny. He must comb it, brush it 100 times or whatever. And he's got these little ornamental beads that are woven into, and he's got this light tan skin. He's built like a wrestler, so like he's got this big broad, and then he's got these little legs, like these little stumpy legs.
Well, yeah, they always skimp on leg day.
So he comes over, and he's like, Ayla.
Yes.
Yep. Well, here's your room key.
I don't know what
Thank
called
you.
me.
I'll bring you up.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
And you see him like make eyes with Kethra, who's just like, "See you later." And he starts like walking over towards the steps to follow where Muriel went. Brings you up the stairs. There's about 10 rooms on this floor, so they're not huge, but they are comfortable. And he walks you down just about like two rooms and opens up the door. And it's just like, there's only one key here, but hopefully that's okay.
It will be fine, thank you.
All right. Yeah, what happened? What happened?
I don't feel like going into the details again. You can.
You're all right though.
I am fine.
Nothing stung you.
Just slightly poisoned.
Oh, that sounds unpleasant.
Yes.
And who are you?
It still burns.
I'm Iolite.
Nice to meet you. I'm Kilvar. That lovely creature down there, Kethra, is my wife. Founder of the Smiling Eyes. But she's a peach.
Giant peach.
Giant peach. She has a little centipede hangs out on her shoulder. She calls James.
Is that canon?
Is now.
Well, Muriel, get the bath ready for you. You look like you could use one.
Yes, very
You want
much
me to
so.
find anybody who can patch up the poison? I mean, I can go talk to Nina.
Yes, that would be fantastic. I would really love the burning to stop.
Yeah, all right, I'll do that. I'll do that for you. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
We are going to go
Take
get
a bath.
proper, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely when you come down, hopefully you're more presentable for the people who are staying here.
Yeah, I try.
Kind of lightly pats your arm. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you.
Oh, you too.
All right. And he heads out down the steps so you can get yourselves ready. Is there anything you want to... I mean, the room is nice. There are 2 beds in there, small, like, twin-sized beds, nothing crazy. But there's a wash basin in there for washing your face in the morning and at night. There's a little chest that you can put your clothing and stuff. The window. You are actually facing, we'll say you're facing the eastern side. So on that side, if you look out the windows, you can see there's a couple of houses, and then looking to the right, I don't know my left from my right either. You can see the Silver Sage stables, which is where the carts and horses go that bring people back and forth to the Yamari Hot Springs. It's about a 20-minute ride. So looking out the window right now, it's about 2-3 o'clock in the afternoon, so you can see some people. You see the stable hand kind of like brushing the horses and getting carts ready for the travel back and forth. But looking out, you can see that the road begins and it like clearly well worn, and then it kind of disappears into the jungle where it heads off to the east where the springs are.
What did you bring for clothing?
Not a whole lot.
Well, after this we should probably get you something nice.
Yeah.
There are plenty
love
of
that.
shops. Dress more appropriately as I point at my beautifully destroyed clothes. Island clothes. Then we go bathe.
All right, so as Muriel comes over and knocks on the door, sweetly, just kind of, it's ready for you when you're ready.
Thank you very much.
All right, bye. And you're able to go take your baths and get yourself clean. Heading back over to the three of you. So a little
How
bit
many
of,
baths are you taking?
Yeah, you get sweaty. It's like 80 degrees out. It's nice. There's always a little bit of a breeze here, unless you're like deep in, once you head into the jungle, no. But there's always a breeze out here. All variety of folks walking around. Lots of different smells of foods you haven't ever probably had before. Some that might be a little bit familiar to you as well. But as you're working, Raylan is helping you unloading things. And you hear some, after a little while, it's probably been maybe an hour or so of just kind of pulling things down, but then you have to put them in different piles and of where they're going to go. As you're standing there, you start to hear a little bit of chatter out, and then Raylan stops and he's like, all right. No, I'm not even going to warn you. It's fine. And he just keeps pulling things. Then he leans up against a cart, and you see this little goblin woman who heads up. She's walking along, and she's kind of like, no, you do that over there. No, you move it over there. Oh my god. She's got little green kind of scaly skin, very long pointed ears, super long. She's got this very, very sharp nose, this little sharp chin, and her eyes are very big and yellow, and she's wearing these big glasses that make them look somehow even larger, they couldn't possibly fit on her.
Picturing Edna Mode, but a goblin.
I
From
combined
The Incredibles.
that and Maz Kanata
Kanata.
from Star Wars, and I smushed them together.
I have no idea who any of those people are.
Well, you're painting a fun picture is what we're trying to say.
She's wearing a
Love
very...
her.
Picturing the female gremlin from Gremlins 2.
Yeah, that's all I had in
A
mind.
little bit of Dobby in there, maybe.
Except she doesn't have any lips. She's very thin-lipped. She's got this mane of wild hair. You can tell that it's wild because little bits are sticking out on the sides, but she's trying so hard to keep it in a bun. She's got this little ornate comb that's in there. Yep, and she is dressed very professionally. And she comes over and she's like, oh my gosh, I swear the Devenians, they did this on purpose, having it arrive so late. Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna need you. You're the ones who are helping. And Raylan is like, yeah, they're the ones that are helping. She's like, okay. And she's probably 3.5 feet tall. She's this little tiny, looking up at all of you. Okay, I'm gonna need you to bring them up to the town command where the steward is, and we need the fireworks will go first. Come on. And she starts heading back up to the towards the town hall and command, which is to the north, northwest.
She said the what? I'm sorry. It sounded to me like you said steward's command, but I don't know.
The town hall and command, where the steward is.
town hall and command
Yeah.
where the steward is. Okay.
Yep. So you start kind of pulling the stuff together. Raylan's like, yeah, but it's this group here. Just follow her. If she sends you back, it's fine. But it's fine. Don't worry. Just do whatever she says. I'll be here helping out. So you kind of gather up the boxes. Very specifically, there's 3 boxes that look like they are full of fireworks. Probably mostly the sparklers, but there does seem to be one that's a pretty decently heavy box that might have the grand finale stuff for the week.
Don't
And-
drop those.
Yes.
You can drop them. Just don't
Don't
put
set
them
them
in
on
flame.
These are medieval style fireworks. I don't trust them.
So as you start pulling everything together, you recognize, like you kind of turn and are heading in that direction. You see the two Valiant guards, Amaret and Dan Perler. They walk over and they are flanked actually by 3 Cassian guards. So, there's 2 more Valiant and 3 Cassian. All just kind of looking pretty casual. Like, again, this is the safest island and the cushiest orders you could possibly get. So they come over, and Dan looks at the 3 of you and is like, "Oh, well, since you're headed in that direction, you're gonna need to turn in your weapons when you get to the town hall. It's a joy festival. Nobody needs to have their weapons, right? There'll be a guy that you can hand it off to. We might be able to let you keep your bow, but the arrows are gonna have to stay.
No problem.
All right. Sure. Have fun. We'll see you around." So you head in the direction of the town hall. So heading into the town hall and command, it's this pretty decently sized building, probably a little bit smaller than the Smiling Eyes free house, but it's made of like this kind of gray stone that's been painted this deep blue, like vibrant blue. It's topped with this tall spire that you can see from like all parts of the village. Not that it's a huge village. They attempted to make this like grand entrance. There's 2 large oak doors that you like push out, actually pull out, push out from the inside. Oh my god. And right when you walk in, you can see a guard not dressed as a Valiant or Cassian guard. This is the local guard. They have this little like hammer kind of sigil on their clothing, wearing very basic leathers, nothing crazy. And inside they're just kind of standing there as you walk in, and Millie, the goblin woman that had greeted you so nicely, is like, this way, they're with me. You can worry about your weapons after. Come. And she walks you through towards an office where, like, she opens up the door and you can see in there a human man. Doesn't want to load his picture, but he is this human guy. He looks like he might be like in his mid-30s, perhaps. He's got like shoulder length, brown hair, kind of a little bit wavy. He's sitting down behind a desk, and you can see that he's wearing clothing that's a step above what you would see on the average person, but nothing too like ostentatious or anything. His features are like, he's got like a huge face. Like, he's got a handsome face, but it's just like his nose is big, his mouth is big, his eyes are actually a little bit tiny. But he's just like big.
Carrot Top?
And when you come in, he sees you, and Millie is like, the fireworks are here, they've got the fireworks. And he stands up right away, and he towers when he stands. It was unexpected, but he's probably like 6'4". So he just stands up and is like, wonderful, this is great. Millie, yeah, Josie. I mean, yes, he is like yelling. He's got this booming voice that like echoes in a room that it shouldn't echo in, because there's like pictures of all different types of Yamari and whatever, like scenes and hot springs, like all over. There's furniture everywhere. There should not be an echo in this room, but for some reason, he's got this really, really tan skin, lots of like freckles and stuff. It's clear he's outside all the time. But he's like, yeah, bring them over here. We'll just set them down. Maybe we can do an inventory. Millie, you've got that, right? And she's like, I've got it. Come on. And she just like keeps, and she's pointing to where you can set down the boxes. Careful with that. Yeah, careful with that. So you see Millie goes over and she is like, could you open them? Just open them. Did they give you a tool to open them? Or I can see you got swords. Open it. Can you open these?
Take a short sword and or a dagger and just
Didn't they take your weapons?
No,
Nope.
they didn't take them yet.
just pry it open.
Okay. While he's doing that,
I like how you totally went to like
Janine
New York, New
from
Jersey.
Ghostbusters.
Yeah. Instantly somehow to me made this goblin way more attractive. I love that accent. I don't know why. A trashy New Jersey style accent. My cousin Vinny.
let's get some fan art of that.
It's a Marissa Tomei goblin.
Every time I hear that,
Oh my god.
no. It's a crime if it's worth more.
Oh,
if
God,
you pay
those
more than
fucking
a dime,
commercials.
those radio commercials.
Oh my god! I can't
Every
stand
time I
that.
hear that girl, I'm just like, I don't know why. A very specific image comes to mind.
Swansea.
Yeah, exactly. Swansea. But it's because it's I grew up with Harley Quinn having that
Yeah,
accent
yeah,
as a
yeah.
kid from
Yeah.
Mr. J. You know.
So as you're opening that up, you see little.
Am I wrong? I just saw you guys look at each other. I was like, this fucking weirdo. I'm like, I can't be the only one. I can't.
You see Millie head over, and the facial expression, like on the steward, he's got this big smile when he's looking at you, and then like she comes over and his face just changes, and he's like, you hear them whispering something to each other, and she's like, I don't know what you want me to do. I can't go over there. They're not going to listen to me. And they're going kind of back and forth, and he's whispering, but it's like the loud, like he can't whisper really. And he's like, I just need them to not be doing this during the festival. You'd think they should be able to just hold off until the 4th even. At the end of the day, I'll go and we'll chat, but not the first day and a half. And you hear Millie say, well, maybe you can like intimidate them or something into shutting the fuck up until after the festival's done. Maybe you can do something like that. You're tall. And he's like, but I'm not intimidating. I'm not an intimidating guy. You know? It's just a big smile. Big toothy smile. And she's like, yeah, I know. You're just a lovable guy. Everybody loves you. It's hard. But then she like she's looking at him, and then she looks over at you three as you're like jamming open this thing with the sword, and she looks at Kai and Kethra both, who look super pale and not from here. And then she looks back at the steward. And they do this thing, like you're all three standing there and you're looking at them, and then they look over at you, and then they look at each other, and you like look at each other.
And you look at me.
It's
And I
Forrest
look
Gump.
at you.
And then you see the worried face that he had, it like goes away, and he gets this big smile.
It's like the Grinch. It's like, yeah.
Comes over.
Yeah.
And he's like, hey, great job you've done here. This has been a great job. I'm the steward here of Balsted. My name's Adriel. It's nice to meet you. What are all your names? He's looking down at like all of you.
Eldon.
Eldon, great to meet you. Kai, fantastic. Kethra, great to meet you as well.
Nice to meet you.
So are you like the governor here? The mayor?
I'm more of like a mouthpiece for the mayor. You know, there really isn't a mayor here. We report more to the mayor of Mosswick. But I speak for her. She couldn't be here. I kind of, report things back to her. I'm in charge. I'm in charge. Hey, so you all aren't from here. I can tell you from Emporia. I hear that accent from a mile away.
It's a crime.
One dime
More
down.
more than a dime.
Eldon needs the trashy New Jersey accent now.
Oh my god, I'm just from Emporia.
So,
He has really big
So
hair.
I got
the-
these
the two
box
youths.
of firecrackers here.
These fireworks, what are we gonna do? They're
What are
gonna
we
fall
gonna do
off
with
the
them?
back
They're
of
gonna
the
go
truck or what?
bada boom!
Gonna fall off the back of the truck?
yeah, you need a job done, I do the job. You get me a little gabagoo, and I can do any job.
Need us to intimidate some fools, we'll go break some kneecaps.
Read my mind.
I'm not gonna do that all day.
You gotta. This
No.
is how it evolves. This is how it... Remember, Zan started off sounding not like Zan. And
The problem
Annie
is
started off not sounding like she was from, like,
problem
fucking
is I won't be able to do it
Mississippi.
without laughing. That's my problem.
Because you gotta embody it. You gotta own
But
it.
I won't. In my head, it just...
Just think Sopranos.
So he says, you'd be perfect for a job, another job. I see you've got a job, helping us here, which we appreciate. These actually should have arrived about, well, probably a week ago normally, but a little late. And Millie, like, kind of slaps his leg to, like, get him back on track. He's like, but I have a job. If you'd be willing, I might be able to, I don't know, I could probably pay you or something, or get you, maybe we could get you a little extra something from the fair. It's nothing big.
Party hats.
I have a little problem. I've got a couple of proprietors that don't really get along, and they're always fighting and just being unpleasant to each other. And this is the Joy Festival. Joy Festival is starting, and we want it to be joyful and full of happiness. And the two of them are just... So I was thinking maybe if, you could go and I'll point you in the right direction. You go and you just have a chat with them and let them know that we want them to just keep it cool for the festival.
You gotta do the accent now. You're being...
I know! I was like, hey, get these wise guys got a
You're
couple
gonna
of
be a
names.
made man by the time this
I know.
campaign is over.
These wise guys got a couple of names.
Yeah.
Shoe shine box.
You're gonna get your fucking shine box.
So, like, right on the edge of, if you're interested. I mean, one thing I could let you... he's looking at, like, the weapons that he can see. You have more concealed?
Yes.
Yeah. The weapons that he can see on you. I mean, you've got, what? Two swords?
Two short swords, a
and
bow, a dagger.
A rapier, too, I believe.
Yeah.
So he's kind of looking at all of the stuff that you have, and he's like, I can't promise that you can keep all of it, but if you even had just one sword on your person, I don't want you to use it. Just, where you put your hand on it, that kind of intimidating thing, and you just...
Don't tell us how to do our job. Man. We know what to do.
And you just, you talk to them and you let them know that, well, I'll go chat with them. Maybe on the 6th. He looks down at Millie and she's like, yeah, it's from the 3 of Glee to the 5 of Glee. Let them, go talk to them on the 6th of Glee. Let them be good. For once. During this festival. We don't need this. We've got to somehow figure out where to get all these fireworks set up, and the next day they should have been set up 3 days ago. The Devenians and sending their... They did it on purpose this year, I'm telling you. I'm telling you they did. And he's just like, all right, hold on. Let's not go into... All right. So what do you say? I think maybe if you just go, and they're nice people. They're really nice people. Just, they need a little, It's right on the edge of town. You can't miss it. There's these two very well done, like, tent, semi-permanent. Callie's is on one side, and the Balstead boarding house is on the other.
Those are the two places?
Yeah.
That fight?
Yeah. Callie's is owned by Callie. She's more of the Spitfire of the two, I must admit. And then there's Simeon, owner of Balsted boarding house. Maybe if you start with Callie, just, let her know. And maybe do it tomorrow. I don't want, you just arrive and then suddenly you're there. She might have seen you come in and then you come here, and I just want to make it not so, obvious. I mean, obviously you're coming from me because why else would you go there? But you know what I mean.
What is that? What exactly is it that they do?
They just fight. They play pranks on each other. They face off in the street. Never anything that comes to blows. It's the joy festival, Joy, happiness, laughter. All the tenets of Yamari.
How important to you is this?
Pretty important. I think that if I could, I'll put it to you this way: the mayor of Mosswick always has to hear about this. At some point, there's a yelling match in the street, somebody accusing somebody of something, the two of them, really. I'd like to avoid that this year. I think if I could show some progress on that front, I might get a little attaboy from the mayor of Mosswick.
And again, what's in it for us?
Party hats.
Yeah, well, you come back and we can figure something out. What do you want? What would you like? We've got there's all kinds of food here, all manner of ales and meads and wines from all around. I can get you some a badge for a major prize. We've got minor and
No minors, please.
minor prize.
We don't do kids.
Kids, no family.
Yeah, I mean, what would you like? We're not. It's Yamari. It's Balsted. You look like you have an idea.
Yeah, it's quite a long walk. All the way from where we are into here. Seeing as how you speak for the mayor of Mosswick, you tend to have a little bit of sway. We'd like our lodging much closer to here. Like inside.
Well, he looks at Millie, all the way down at Millie, and she, gives you all a little, her huge eyes just kind of a little squint. And she's like, "Are you willing to share a room?"
With each other.
I'll see what I can do.
And so won't we.
And she looks up at Adrio. She's like, "I love it. I love it. All right. This is great. This will be great. Fantastic. So, here, let me walk you up to the front. I'll see if I can bend the rules a little bit to help you keep, one of your swords. Just whichever one's your favorite."
It would certainly help.
Yeah.
I'm sure a man of your stature in this community can make that happen.
I mean, the Valiant and the Cassian Guard are pretty strict, but as long as you don't actually take it out of the sheath, just leave it. Just touch it, a little bit. Wiggle it around.
Steward. What are you trying to say?
Wiggle it around.
I don't play that way.
So you head over to.
I don't play for the other team. What kind of...
So you head over to the as you are leaving, actually the office. You see Millie goes over and she has a little a little clipboard type of thing, but not really. And she starts doing inventory, and she can hear her. She's just like, "These Devenians." She's just going off on Devenia.
You're Dominion, right? You and Kethra, both.
Kai's clocking it.
I was gonna say, he's
Every time she drops an N-bomb, I'm remembering it.
I was gonna say defend
D-bomb.
Defend bomb. Yeah, I was gonna say Eldon's chuckling, just kind of like doing that, like.
Kai's like, I'm mixed, motherfucker. I might not look it.
So Adrio brings you up to the front where there was a Balsted Hammer guard sitting there. You see a kind of older looking male elf, full elf, pointed ears, very pale skin, and these pale blue eyes. He's pretty. He looks like he's fairly tall. He's just kind of casually sitting at this desk, though. And as you walk through, he's eyeing the weapons that he can see on your person. And Adrio comes over and he says, "Hey, Theriatis. So these fine folks, Kethra, Kai, and Eldon, they're gonna do me a little favor. So I was hoping we could do them a favor, if at all possible." And you see the elf looks pretty relaxed, and he just kind of like leans forward and looking up at Adrio. And what kind of favor are we talking about? And Adrio like leans in, and you can hear him very loudly whispering that he would like for you to be able to keep a sword and your bow, but no arrows.
They're friends of ours.
As he's loudly whispering this, you see the elf just kind of like leaning over, looking at all three of you, looking you up and down. And then he leans back over and kind of blocks what he's saying to Adrio with like Adrio's big body. You can't see what he's saying, and then he's like, Adrio slaps him on the shoulder, and Theriatis stands up, and he's like, "All right, so I'm gonna need you to just drop all your weapons here on the table. I'll take an inventory. We will keep them in the lockbox, wrap up a little ribbon, put your name on it. At the end of the festival, you come back, and you can get them. You can keep your bow. We're gonna keep the arrows. And what would be your preference on the sword?"
Just gonna tap the pommel of the rapier.
All right. So everyone, please, all of your concealed weapons, place them on the table. If we find them later, it becomes a problem.
So Kai has his one sword, a rapier, on his hip, and then he reaches underneath his back, pull out a dagger.
All right. You see him take inventory, sword,
Yeah, you just got my 2 daggers. Just put them down.
rapier,
I was like, they're right there.
dagger. Kethra puts down on the table 2 daggers. Eldon puts down
Dagger, 2 short swords.
Okay.
A couple arrows, smoke bombs,
His arrows.
grenades.
No, he's got a blowgun.
Okay.
But I was.
Whatever you.
He's Elizabeth Swan in the second movie.
Yeah, he'll begrudgingly throw down the
He'll put the blowgun down too.
too.
All right.
It's like, I don't remember what cartoon it is, or it might have just been like a little thing where it's like, "Going to meet the king, please deposit all your weapons," and it's the one guy in the back just
Clang, clang, clang.
and then the people are coming back out, and then he's like, not even done.
I mean, Arik was a lot of the same way. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know why I have to play a guy that has a lot of different weapons. I think that's all I ever have.
Actually, this is. So yeah, you put. I'm gonna have this music. Actually, I like this music. So you place all of your weapons down. You see him. He sits back down. He just kind of smiles. "Thank you. It's starts writing everything out. We see him wrap up in it's like little strips of leather. There's a number and your name that he puts on. You can see it's like very well done. And then he afterwards like stands up so that you can see where he's going. There are all these lock boxes in this like main area. And he goes over and he puts your weapons in these lock boxes that are lined up. And when he comes back over, Adrio is like, thank you. I mean, again, tomorrow, not today. It's a little late in the day. Callie gets worse as the day goes on. So tomorrow. And then, at the end of the day, just come back, let me know how it went. It can't really get too much worse, I think, than how it already is. So, yeah. I think Simeon's a little bit more, what's the word I'm looking for? Reasonable. He's a more reasonable person, but you're gonna I recommend Callie, just get her out of the way, Appreciate it.
With a minimum of bloodshed?
No bloodshed. Please, none at all. Be great. Words.
Do our best.
And a light tapping on the sword, All right, great. It was wonderful to meet you. I mean, you'll see me around. I'm the MC of this whole thing. So, you need anything? I'm sure Millie will get back to me. Where are you? Where can we find you? We'll try to find you a better place to sleep. I'm assuming you're probably near the end of the Joy Run. Get you a little closer. Maybe Callie's. Or the Balstead board. If you do, Or maybe next door. Maybe one of those. I'll find out from her. Where can we find you later?
Later tonight, we'll be at the Smiling Eyes, getting a pint.
Oh, all right. Yeah, that's a great establishment. Kethra's really, really great. And her husband, Kilvar. He's a funny guy. Very funny.
Make sure that we tell them that the steward says hello.
Please do, yeah. I see them almost every day, but
The steward sends his regards.
All right, I'll send Millie out to check on you later on when she gets that done. All right.
Beautiful.
Great. He does like one of those like handshakes with each of you where he like holds on to your hand and so you can't let go, the two-hander. And then he smiles at Theriatis, who sounded like a disease. Theriatis, who's just kind of like, smiling at him. And then he heads back in.
So I still have the bow.
You have your bow and your rapier.
Because the bow's big anyway. It looks almost like a walking stick to somebody who wasn't really paying all that much attention. So.
Right. Yeah. Theriatis just kind of smiles at you. If you need, when you're ready to leave, just come back. We'll give you your weapons. All weapons to be sheathed at all times during the Joy Festival. But really, if you're in the village, there's no need. There's just no need. Yeah. All right. Enjoy. And I'll see you when you come back for your stuff.
Thank you.
Bye now.
Bye.
I hate that phrase so much. Bye now. So bye now. Bye now. So you head back out into the town square. You can keep helping out. You see Raylan is, getting some stuff ready. Or you can.
How empty are the wagons?
So
we fulfill our duty.
You could probably still do more for a little while because there's stuff to bring around as well.
Kai's gonna look to sneak away without finishing.
Okay.
You would.
So are you trying to sneak away from the two of them as well, or are you just kind of?
No, if they want to keep working, he's gonna try and hide the fact that he's done with us.
Okay.
How far away are we from them doing the wagons?
You, like if you were to walk out more to the middle, you can just barely see the wagons, but
Oh yeah.
yeah,
fuck
Raylan
that.
can't
No,
see
no,
you.
Oh yeah,
we're
they
done.
can't see us.
We're
We're out of
done.
here. Absolutely.
We're on special assignment.
We're on special work, dude.
Yeah, we're on special assignment for the rest of the night.
Okay. Yeah, so you have the rest of the,
Were we getting paid by them too, or was the travel, like the ability to travel with this wagon, the payment? I can't remember if we had an agreement.
you would get paid, yes.
Okay.
But they did not pay you yet. But you also made,
Mhm.
you don't know how much, but
Yeah.
a little chunk of change.
Mhm.
So yeah, you've got the village around. There's all different types of vendors inside of the village square, or you could head down the